I have a bit of a limerick, or a poem, if you will, that kind of relates to today's podcast.
Okay.
It's a poem that we used to say about our neighbour's dog years ago.
Fair enough.
Ben. And it goes like this. Benny Boo had a poo in the middle of a shoe. He saw a ghost eating toast halfway up a lamppost.
No.
Did you not like it?
No, that's not for me. It's not the one.
Oh, fuck it anyway. Hello, and you're very welcome along to the Unpopular Opinion podcast. My name is Jen Hatton.
I'm Ghost Caller.
I've come to you from beyond the grave.
I've come to you from a new place, and they call me Ghost Carla. That's just it. That's just that. It's not even my rap name, it's my real name.
So in today's podcast we are going to be talking about paranormal activity and ghosts. And all that comes along with it. So like mediums and kind of probably goes into fortune telling as well, and all the mad shit that goes on basically.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a medium?
I have.
Okay. Do you want to explain that?
I've actually been to a few. I think, I don't know what it is about me. Like some I believe and some I really don't.
Okay.
So I went to see Bernie Stokes.
Who's that?
I was going to say, I thought you were after saying to me who hasn't.
Oh.
No, Bernie Stokes is a very, I think, popular medium in Dublin. She does, like, it's nearly like a circuit tour of, like, she does the Bell, she does the Crown Plaza, she does loads of different hotels, but she does them in a kind of a group setting.
Well, first of all, I thought she was a man.
No, Bernie Stokes.
Bernie. That's a man's name, no?
Bernadette. Bernie.
Bernard. Bernie.
We'll agree to it's an all-rounder of a name, but she does it in a group setting, so she will basically be up the top of the room or the middle of the lounge and be like, who knows a nana? And then she does this whole thing where she goes into herself. Now I'd imagine being a medium, I'm not taking the piss because I know that there are people who genuinely have see, this is me thing, and this might be unpopular with the mediums themselves, because this is me thing. I genuinely believe that mediums think that they can talk to the dead, but I'm still to be fully convinced.
Okay,
do you know what I mean?
that they can.
I'm still very sceptical, but I have absolutely no doubt that they think, like, I don't think that they're, now there's probably some, but I don't think that they wake up every morning and go, right, time to start scamming again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I truly believe that they believe they can do it, but like that, I'm still very sceptical. So she does this thing, and like I said, with mediums, I'm sure that there is some sort of ritual that they go through to get into themselves. But, and obviously this isn't a visual podcast, but she kind of looks down and to the side, if you can imagine me looking to the left of me feet, and she kind of shakes a little bit, and that's how she gets into herself, and it's kind of weird to look at. And then she'll like come up really slowly and be like, who knows a Mary? But then at the same time, it's like in a room full of people in the Bell, who the fuck doesn't know a Mary? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was a bit of scepticism, and I'm not trying to like, this is fact, this has been said before publicly, that she was caught with like an earpiece in before, or somebody was feeding her something through, like, she always has this woman with her that kind of goes around
collecting money.
Like, yeah, like she kind of takes the tickets in and she takes the money at the door and stuff like that. And I don't know whether the rumour was that that's what we'll call it, a rumour, because I don't know if this is true or not. I'll fully say this now. This was more than likely a rumour.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was that she had this like earpiece in, she was caught rabbit with it. But she would be one of the most popular ones. But I went to see her, and I feel like with mediums, it's a lot, like they'll say something and you will do anything to rack your brain to try and piece it together, whether you believe or not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they'll say a series of things and you will try and make them make sense.
Do you believe that's the same when you're one-on-one with a medium?
Yeah. Because I've had, like, there've been sessions where I've gone to, like, a friend would have gotten a medium to our house and we'd all go up to the bedroom one by one and have a face. Now, there was one, see, I can't remember all their names or anything like that, but there was one and she was really good. Now, I didn't really have to do much piecing together with her. Like, she said that, I mean, Anna Hatton, so Jenny Hatton, the first, she was saying that she was laughing about the fact that I had been in my car, and I used to do this before I'd get to work. I'd spray perfume on, but a lot of the time it'd be like a body spray and there'd be like this big fucking puff of mist in the car.
Yeah.
You know, because I'd be spraying it on myself and there'd be no window open, so like there'd be this big thing, you know, absolutely hilarious. But the medium said, oh, your nana's laughing at you spraying in the car.
Yeah, see, there's stuff like that and I don't know, like, it's shit like that I'm not really down for.
What do you mean?
Like, it freaks the fuck out of you.
Oh,
do you not
yeah,
believe?
because, like, there's no way they could have known that.
Yeah, like, I went to a medium when I was, I must have been, the first time I ever went to one was 19, I want to say it was 19.
Right.
19 or 20, no, I was 20, sorry, that's a lie, I was 20. The reason why I know all these things is, I'll tell you now. But basically, I went because one of the girls that I was in college with, she was like gagging to see this guy. His name's Bill. People will probably know him. He's from Mullingar.
I've heard of him, yeah.
I can't fucking remember his second name. But she was mad to go and see him. And then I remember, I think at the time I looked him up and he had really good reviews. And I was like, I'll go. I was like, fuck it, we'll go. So we went or whatever. She went in first. And hers was quite quick. She'd been to him before and she was mad to go back. Because at the time she was obsessed with this guy.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to know if it would work out.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And he was like, no. And she was like, sorry, what? And she was fuming.
Yeah.
She was fuming. But I remember just being like, this is actually like comical. But I was like, fuck it, we'll do it. So went or whatever. And holy shit, it was a really intense experience. Like,
okay.
I was not expecting that. And like,
right.
You know me, I'm quite like, yeah, all right, fair enough. The whole thing was mad. Just everything that he was saying was just absolutely insane. And it was like, here's just like, here's some highlights. Here's some highlights. Yeah. So he said, I'd meet my husband at 23. And I was like, weird. How the fuck would you know that? He was like, you're going to end up having 3 boys. You've always said you never wanted kids. You're actually going to end up with 3. And it's going to be a weird circumstance. Now, I met Tom at 23. And
so
he's
triplets.
A twin. He's a twin. And I always said, what would happen to me, like as a joke to Tom, because he is a, when they're not identical, fraternal?
Oh yeah, fraternal
twin. And in fraternal twins, the guy carries the twin gene,
the
and
gene
it's
is
90%
stronger.
And it's a stronger gene.
Yeah.
So it actually doesn't skip a generation like identicals do. But his sister would be like near, I think it's like 1% or something that she'd have a set of twins.
Right.
So it's quite high with Tom to have twins. But I always said, what would happen to me is that I'd end up having 1, and I'd want to give the fucker a bit of company, and wouldn't I go and have fucking twins?
Yeah.
And I'd be stung with 3.
Yeah.
And he said that. But he didn't say that, but he was like, you always said you wouldn't have kids, you're going to actually end up with 3, they're all going to be boys. Like, and he also said your husband is going to be more about the home than you are. And he's going to be more around the whole, like, he's going to be basically, you're not that maternal, but he'll be very paternal, and he'll be more like the Susie homemaker.
You do come across like that though. You've always said you don't even like kids.
No, I fucking hate them. But also Tom is the house husband. Like, he cooks for me every night.
Oh, he does,
loves kids. He's very like into that shit. So I was like, a bit weird.
Oh, so will Tom babysit for me then? Just quick,
why
quick
not?
Side note.
Fuck it. Like, side note.
Thank
fuck
you, Tom.
It, no bother. He doesn't love kids now, but he fucking definitely has time for his niece and nephew that I don't have time for. But it's neither here nor there. Then he also said, don't worry about your dad will be fine no matter what happens. And I was kind of like, what the fuck is he talking about? Obviously my parents weren't divorced yet.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was like, you're not that close, because me and my dad only became very close after him and my mum split.
Yeah, you said that before, yeah.
And he was like, don't worry, your dad will be fine. He'll go through some and Ray went through a very rough patch when him and my mum split up, and he was like, he'll be fine, he'll come out the other side. You, your sister and your dad, obviously he was like, your sister, and I was like, okay, but I remember my mate was like, he could have googled that, he could have Facebooked you. And I was like, you didn't have my second name. Said that was, I was like, really weird. That was in November, and my aunt had passed away in August, and he was like, your aunt's with you. I know you don't really know what the crack is, but she's happy she went. My aunt died at 40, by the way. It was kind of dodgy circumstances. She had a lot of addiction issues, so she was happy enough that, like, he was like, she's happy that she went. And I was like, mad. Right. How would you know that?
Yeah.
And he was like, she's with my granny, because my granny passed away in November, my aunt passed away in the August after, so 2009, 2010 was a fucking great year for my family, and then my parents split up in 2011. But it was a bad little time. But just stuff like that. And then I remember it was just those little things, but I remember after all of that, I was like, how the fuck would he know that now? Come on.
Yeah.
He couldn't really whip up RIP.ie and bang my name into it and hope for the best.
Yeah.
You know, especially since I just gave him my first name when I made the booking.
Yeah. And then you often hear skeptics saying, oh, well, they're just good at reading people. But how can you get so specific?
How could he know my young aunt who went, like, he was like, she didn't go before her time, even though you feel that way. She's happy she went. She's really sorry for all the stuff that she put you guys through beforehand. And I was like, how the fuck would he know that?
How would you know that? Yeah. And then also it kind of, because I would imagine, well, in my own head and my own logic, I would differentiate a medium and a fortune teller. So I can't always figure out how mediums start telling you your fortune. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been to both. Right? I need to tell you. I never told you. I need to tell you about this woman, right?
Great.
There's this woman she's on the old Ashbourne Road. So, you know, you go up to that, what cross is that called? You know where the timber yard is?
Oh, you're fucking asking me. I'm the worst. It's like not Margaret's, is it? It's near Margaret's.
St. Margaret's, that cross. It's not Newland.
It's near the
Cross.
Brock Inn, is it? And
near the Brock, yeah. But basically, it's not the road up the airport, not the road up near Dog's Trust, not the road coming back to Blanche, the one heading up to Ashbourne.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm being so specific about that is because you don't book this woman, should I say. You drive up the Ashbourne Road, her little bungalow is on the left. You'll know it. The garden is absolutely jam-packed full of like animal crates, caravans, all sorts of shit. This woman is a hoarder. Her house is not clean. Don't go thinking that you're going to be going
have a clean house.
Yeah, Pippa O'Connor's house. You drive up this road, you pull in on the left, you'll see her garden. Okay. You stop your car.
Yeah.
You sit there. And she comes out to the door and she beckons you. Right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
This is fucking deadly.
Not about that life.
Oh, she's deadly, right? But you pull in, she comes out to the door, she beckons you. You go up to her house. Like that, like I said, she's a hoarder. She will sit you on her couch in the little space that she has set out for people to sit there. She will look at you, look you in the eyes, and then she goes, yeah, hand me your €20 there. You hand her the €20.
This service.
Oh yeah, this woman isn't getting fucked over today, right? So you hand her the €20 and she tells you your fortune.
Okay.
She is so fucking accurate, it's unbelievable.
No.
It's actually unbelievable. She told, my sister and my mum went first, and she told them really accurate stuff that ended up happening within the next year.
Would all three of you like rock up and she'd be like, you first, you second, you first?
No. She'd just come out and beckon whoever wants to go first and go in.
Oh, but the other two have to stay in the car?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So my sister was telling me about this because she went with my mum, and she had told my mum that this was during the recession, so it was like 10 years ago, and my dad was out of work, and what was he working as? He was in the building trade. Oh, he was in like a manufacturers for bathrooms, Proton it was called, where he got laid off during the recession. So I think he was working for Panda. He was working as a bin man. He was doing any job necessary to try and, to be in work. Like my dad just doesn't stop. But she told, I think it was my mum, she was like, one day a man is going to knock at your door. You haven't seen him in years, and he's going to come to the door with an opportunity for you, for your husband, and everything is going to go back to the way it used to be. So my dad was a butcher for fucking years, all the way up until he decided to leave and go to this job where he was like, he had a van and like this company. This bathroom place, and he was a butcher for years. And so she said, a man will come, you haven't seen him in years, he'll come to you with an opportunity and things will go back to the way that they used to be.
Okay.
So my dad's friend, who he used to do the butchering with, knocked at the door, said, there's this new butchering company coming up. It's called such and such. you want a job? My dad was like, yeah, alright, grand. He's back working with this chap that he hasn't seen in fucking years. He's back being a butcher.
So you're telling me that your dad's a fucking butcher?
Yeah.
And I've been banging up to Gleason's back and forth.
Oh, no.
Breaking my bollocks.
Big
Trying to get some fucking 5 for 20 deals.
quick plug for the Dublin Meat Company there.
No way, the Dublin Meat Company. I fucking used them. I've used them before, but Gleason's it's just closed. They're not gonna lie.
Up in Kilmine.
Yeah. We used to go there every time we'd have a baby.
Yeah.
Is that your dad?
That's my dad.
Quick plug.
Plugging. Yeah, no, he... And like that happened
That's
within the
booming,
next
Jen.
year.
I tell you what, that meat company's booming.
Yeah.
How do they feel about this whole sustainability, vegan kind of like way forward vibe?
I can't speak on behalf of them. I don't know. My dad only found out that they have influencers there the other day, and he's just like, yeah, what? what is that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, like he's grand. He just goes to work, minds his own business, and goes home. Do you know what I mean? He'd probably even go mad if he fucking Kim. Don't tell him that I'm talking about him. But yeah, no. So she said that, and then she told my sister a few accurate things, and then so my sister was like, on one of my birthdays, she was like, let's go up. So I experienced this for myself. We went up, we pulled in. I went in first and couldn't believe that, like I said, she's a hoarder. Like, this house is just a bit mental. And she holds her hand, softest hands I've ever felt.
Oh.
And she told me my future, and she was telling me all about these things. Oh, she was the reason why I was... Okay, so...
You're pregnant.
No, I must have been my 24th birthday.
How many years ago?
Right. 7.
Is she still doing it?
I don't know. I must find out, actually.
Phew.
We must actually just drive up to the
go?
and just pull up. Yeah. Oh, God. I don't know if she's raised our rates.
What if she came up and she was like, it's Tulsi?
Right. Let's go to the ATM, sorry. Yeah. But she was telling me all... Oh, yeah, so she was the reason...
Yeah.
Why I was so eager to get my smear done when I turned 25, because she told me that there was going to be problems, which there was, but they were all going to be resolved. She said, but just make sure that you keep on top of that. So I had abnormal cells, and I was in and out of telehospital, the cervical check unit, for 3 years after me first smear.
Iconic.
Yeah, so she was the reason. That just stuck in my head, and I'm so glad. Like, you should be doing it anyway when you turn 25, because even my GP's nurse, she was just like, fair fucking play. She said nobody really, because I rang on my 25th birthday.
I went on my 25th,
yeah, and I was like, I want to book it in. She was like, Jesus, fair play to you, not many girls do it, like the when they turn 25 exactly, they might wait a while or whatever. I was like, no, I want to get it done. And then as well, like, there's kind of history in my family of there being abnormal cells, but it was more so that stuck in my head with her. Then she told me, because me and Adam, not that we were having trouble, but we weren't really... I don't know, like, we weren't living together. Things were kind of
in a great place.
Yeah, we weren't in a great place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're kind of having stupid little arguments or whatever. And she was telling me all about that, and she was just like, just stick with it. It'll be, it'll be grand. You feel like it's not going to work at the moment, but just stick with it. And she's not the reason why I stuck with it. Like, I absolutely adore, always have, love Adam. But she kind of reassured me then. Do you know what I mean? But it was just how accurate she was. But it was more a fortune telling aspect of it. It wasn't, I'm speaking to your Uncle Billy. Like, do you know what I mean? It wasn't any
it
of
wasn't
that.
like, I'm here now with
oh my God,
person.
so accurate. And then there wasn't one thing that she said that I was like, oh, what could that mean?
Oh, I don't know what
that... Because that's what I often feel like when I'm talking to mediums. They're like, who's this and who's that? And you're like, trying to rack your brain, trying to make it make sense, even though it could be them just...
Yeah.
pulling from fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then another time, it wasn't a fortune teller now, this was, they had like a fair up in the Crown Plaza in Blanche. Mm-hmm. And it was like a room full of mediums, so you could go to a stall. It was very strange, like it was an actual like fair. And it was like stalls, and you could go over, and you didn't need an appointment or anything like that. You could just queue up for whatever medium you wanted to go and see. But I went up with my mum. She wasn't there to pay to get a reading or anything like that. She was just there with me. She was kind of curious. But she sat down with me, and I paid this fella. I don't know whether it was your man who you were talking about.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh no, maybe his name was Liam. Bill and Liam William, it's kind of the same.
Oh.
I don't know, but she sat down beside me anyway. There was 2 chairs in front of the desk, and he was like, do you want her here, or about me mum? And I was like, yeah, let me mum listen in or whatever. And he started giving me a reading. Every single thing that he said made not that much sense to me, but made all the sense in the world to me. My but she'd never seen a medium before. So it was as if like, well, the way I thought of it, it was like all the ghosts were like, oh, she's at a medium, come on, quick. Because she's had like so many siblings that have passed away.
Because Bill, right, from what I can remember, you have to tell him if you've been there before, and he kind of gives you like a bit of a disclaimer if you haven't. If you have been there before, I can't remember what it's like, but I think he's kind of like, you know, this isn't going to work as much. I can't remember. Okay. I can't remember what it is, but it's like something to do with the first, like it's like a cold reading kind of situation.
Yeah.
Because I went back to him and it was like not shit, but it was kind of like very murky.
Okay.
And my friend went with me, and it was her first time, and everything made sense to her. And mine was real kind of like, I can't really remember a lot about it.
Yeah.
Do you get me? It wasn't really, it was kind of like all up in the air, and it was a lot quicker. The first one I was in with him for an hour and a half or something. I was with him for fucking ages. The second one I was with him for like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But I remember my mate, the first time I went, my mate Claire that I went with in college, she was like, oh, this is my second time going to him. And I remember she was in and out real quickly, and I was there for fucking ages, and she was like, what the fuck? So I don't know what it is, but like, I do totally get that. But I'm more like, can you believe in psychics if you believe in fate? Because I'm very much a believer of like, your choices are half chance, and like that's kind of, you know, that's how it works. And, you know, things do. I'm very much a believer of things that happen for a reason, because everything that's happened to me has happened for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, even all the worst things, even all the shit things, even all like me deciding to go travelling when I did, me and Tom, the way that has worked out, and the fact that we were living in separate countries and all that other shit, like things just happen to me in the way that they're supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Do you know? So that's why, and it's a real weird one, because I'm a very intuitive person. And that's why I'm like, I'm not psychic, but I know when things have happened.
Yeah.
Like, this is so mad. Like, these are little things, and like, I've loads of them, but when I was younger, I was kind of half seeing the sky, and it kind of fizzled out we were kind of seeing each other for like 6 weeks or 7 weeks or so like that, and he was mates with one of my mates. And I remember, Paul, if you're listening, you're going to remember all this, but I remember I was on Twitter, and I remember Paul had put up something about the night before, and I just got a feeling, and I literally called him, and I was like, you were out last night? And he was like, yeah, I was out. And I was like, who are you out with? And he was like, oh, Lorcan and Hannah. And I was like, and I went, did Lorcan get with Hannah? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, Nua.
Wow.
Real weird. Real fucking strange. Like, really strange. And then, I can't tell this other story. No, Tom will kill me. I can't tell another one. It's about somebody cheating on someone, and I knew about it.
Right.
I knew about it. Like, I knew. I had an off feeling. One of his mates is... I'll just say there was a situation where somebody was cheated on, and I called him that night, and I was like, that's happening. And he was like, sorry, what? And I was like, that's happening right now as we speak. And he was literally like, you are mad. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then a week and a half later, it all came out, and I was like, fucking told you. I fucking told you. I told you, motherfucker. Like,
Jesus.
And then another thing that happened to me, that was only last summer. Now, there's loads of these little things, and I always know, and I remember that there's, especially with guys, for some reason I have like premonitions about things, and I'm like, that's after happening, he's with this girl now, and that's how that's happened. Or this is the reason why this is, I don't know why, but like, obviously I'm a Cancer, and we're known for being intuitive.
Well, in fairness, my ma's a Cancer, and I couldn't get away with fuck all when I was a kid. So.
It's like, we have feelings, and that's like, it's one of the things, it's like, that's why we're called Moonchild.
But then it's also... Women's intuition, I think, is a lot stronger.
Women have an intuition, definitely, because men are fucking dumb. But there is just something weird. So last summer, I'd given in my notice or whatever else like that, and my manager at the time texted me, and like, obviously we were still working away. I was working up to my deadline before I left to go travelling, everything else like that. Everything was grand, and she sent me a text. I was in the shower. Well, I wasn't in the shower, but she sent me a text being like, hey, are you free for a chat? And now, I was in the UK, we were back and forth or whatever. It was one of my admin days, and I remember I was in Cambridge at that point. And I remember looking at the phone, getting into the shower, and I was in the shower, and I was like, she's leaving. And like, we did these chats every week. Like, this wasn't like a big thing. She was like, hey, when are you free for a call? And I was like, just having a shower or a few bits like that, I'll chat to you in a bit.
Yeah.
I remember I was on the phone and I literally called her, and I remember being like, once I got out, I was like, I had to call her, and I was like, hey, you're leaving, aren't you? And she was like, sorry. And I was like, you're leaving Smashbox, you're going to a different brand.
Yeah.
And she was like, I wasn't calling to tell you that, but I was going to tell you on Friday when you were here in person. Yeah. She was like, how the fuck do you know that? And I was like, just had a feeling.
Oh God, that's mad. Isn't
Yeah. And I remember she was like, okay, please don't tell the girls because I want to tell them in person, because the rest of the girls on our team.
Yeah.
And I remember when she had to tell the girls, or like my friend Heather, she's like, you fucking knew, because I can't, like, you just know by my face. And I was like, yeah, I did, yeah. And they were almost looking, and she was like, Carla guessed. She was like, I don't know what's up with her, but we were all mad into our star signs in our team anyway. And she was like, Carla's a Cancer, she knew, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, nah, she's the Cancer. Everyone just left it at that. They were like, yeah, that's her.
That's gas.
Yeah, but I always just have those little things where I know when something's off. Like, I know when there's weird things happening. Yeah.
Will you do a reading for me?
I will when I if I get a feeling, I'll let you know.
Let me know. Yeah. Oh,
definitely.
please do.
Because I do get them, but they just come on, guys. They just come on. They're like urges.
Although you do say weird things to me, like you WhatsApp me and you'll be like, this is after happening and that's because of that and that's because of that, and I'm just like, what?
And I'm always fucking right, haven't I?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at the time.
It's like my way of thinking. You're like, how the fuck could you have thought of that? And I do it all the time. I'm like, hey, I've just had this thought, and that's going to lead to that, and that's going to become that, and that's because of that.
Yeah. You do, and sometimes I'd be like, this one's fucking raving mad just after having too much coffee, like.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And like, Tom's the biggest cynic in the entire world. He doesn't believe in any of this. It doesn't even matter if like a psychic came up to him and was like, this, and it
all came true.
And all came true. He'd be like, guessed.
Yeah.
Chance. Unsure.
Yeah.
Totally
Adam's
not wrong.
the same. Yeah, Adam's the same.
Lads are like that though, aren't they?
They are like that. Have you ever had any paranormal activity experience?
Yes.
Oh, do tell.
Never good, always bad.
Wow.
Always negative energy, never positive energy. So it's never a good one for me. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's I don't know if it's actually what it is, or it's just my mind, or what the situation is. But I generally do wake up in the middle of the night with a lot of shit going on.
Right.
So I've woken up with people in my room before, or what I felt like, or what I decided was people in my room. The most recent was when I was in Rome. Yeah. That recently. That's what I'm saying. It happens to me all the time. And it was one that he couldn't deny. I was like, see, you little cunt. But because Tom was with me in the bed, obviously. And woke up in the middle of the night. I had one pillow. Like, I curled, so I always have like 3 or 4 pillows. But at this point, we only had one pillow. So I curled the pillow to like pump it up. And then I put my hand underneath. It's very hard to explain, but it's important because of what I did. Okay. So I like had my hand propped up under the pillow. I had my head on the pillow, obviously, but I had the pillow doubled over. Yeah. So my hand's in the middle of the two. It's like a pillow sandwich.
Pillow
on
sandwich.
The hand.
On the hand, yeah.
Happened.
Okay.
Woke up in the middle of the night. There was a Japanese baby sitting there staring at me. Just like with his hands like this. This is exactly like his position. He had his 2 hands like that, like sitting like that. You know, like them, school children on a wall. Yeah. Like that. With a big grin on his face. He must have been 3 or 4.
Wow.
And I got the pillow and I literally went, boom. I was like, get the fuck. And he woke up and was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because I ended up, with throwing the pillow, I ended up like smashing the glass beside me. And I was like, there's a Japanese baby beside me. And he was like, sorry. And I was like, there's a Japanese baby in the room. I think it's gone now. I feel like it's gone now, but it's gone now.
Fuck.
Yeah. And he was like, that didn't happen. And I was like, it did. And I was like, no, I'm always asleep and I wake up with it happening. You know when you feel eyes on you? And I always wake up and I'm like, there it is, a big cunt. Yeah. It's happened a couple of times in my room as well, where I thought there was like a man in the corner, a couple of bits and bobs. I had a really bad batch of night terrors for a while, you know, where you can't, like, there's something sitting on top of you, like, can't breathe, can't speak,
is
like that, like
paralysis?
Sleep paralysis. Yeah. Had really bad batch of that when I was in my 20s, I'm still in my 20s, and when I was 20, 21 kind of vibe, I had that a lot. For a period of time.
I've heard of people having it, but I've never experienced it myself.
Yeah, and then one other time when I was in Marbella with my mate Shauna, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, there is a white ghost chasing us around, but I think we were hallucinating from drink. Okay. Yeah, and we had no aircon, so I think we were just... So we put that down to hallucination, but she still brings it up to the stake. She was like, you freaked the fuck out of me. And I said, there's a white ghost, there's a man, it's a white ghost, he's around the room, and like the two of us could not sleep for the rest of the night. Yeah.
Right, okay.
What have you had?
Nothing. I've had absolutely. That's why I'm still to be convinced. You know what I mean? Now I do have a lot. Like my oldest childhood friend Amy, her house seems to be on some sort of fucking burial ground because her, like, I don't know. When we were kids and she was telling me this stuff, I might have just put it down to not believing her with a bit of dramatics. But her mum has seen a lot of stuff as well, and her mum is as straight as they come.
Yeah.
So I find it very hard not to believe them now. But and then Amy's other half as well, Neil, he's seeing stuff and he'd be the first one to turn around and go, just fuck off, that's a load of bollocks. You know what I mean? But so Amy used to see her nana and her granddad in her room all the time.
See, I wouldn't mind that, just not a Japanese little baby.
Yeah,
like.
I know, but this is the thing. Her mum, they used to always... It's so weird, like, how different people are brought up. Like, they would have all slept with the doors open, whereas all my family used to sleep with the doors closed.
Yeah,
so, but Bridie, her mum, she used to sleep with the door open, and she... one night woke up and Bridie told me this before, so I was like, there's no way Amy's mum would lie, do you know what I mean? Like, there's absolutely no way she'd lie. So she's in the main bedroom, and in our houses, the way that the beds are, they'd face towards the wall, so the door would be open. You can see the banisters, so kind of near the top of the stairs you could see through the banisters, you know, the landing, like. So she woke up and she looked down, there was like a bit of street light coming in the room, obviously, and she looked out the door, and through the banister she could see a little boy in old fashioned kind of clothes, so like a little
bonnet, like
little bonnet hat and braces and a little blue short with the shorts and stuff like that. And she used to see him; he was just looking through the banisters at her. And
that's fucking weird,
isn't it? To see, this is the thing, like a little random boy.
Yeah.
And then
it is creepy when it's children, I'll tell you that. It's fucking creepy.
And then another thing, what happened in the house as well. Oh, so this was only, Jesus, how old is Jason now? Jason's 5 or 6, so this would have been like 7 or 8 years ago. Amy would have been upstairs, she was pregnant, and Neil was downstairs. He was out the back having a smoke, and I don't know whether the bedroom door or the bedroom window upstairs was open, but he was outside having a smoke and he heard Neil, and he thought it was Amy. So he put out the smoke and he went upstairs and he was like, what? And she was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you called me.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times.
Yeah.
In bed, where I've heard my name, but then I've always been like, I'm half asleep. I've been hearing things.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, that happened to me the other night. Yeah. I was kind of in a state of
You're
REM.
in a weird, you know when you're in that weird kind of like, you're like, you feel like 2 seconds ago you were awake, but then you look at the clock and you actually sleep for like 4 hours.
Exactly, I was in kind of a state of REM, but it wasn't even my name. It was the name Karen.
Karen?
No, they just went Karen.
Well, really?
Yeah.
No, mine was like Carla.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like menacing. I swear, anything that follows me doesn't like me.
Yeah.
Like that Japanese child. Although it was cute. Why are you in Rome?
Yeah.
Like, why Rome though?
Well, that's probably his gaff, Carla. Don't be fucking knocking him.
That is true.
You know what I mean? You're in his gaff.
Yeah. One time also when we were in South America, I think we were in Bolivia or something, I thought I saw like loads of mad Aboriginal people in my room. But I think that time I was again hallucinating from a drink, so.
There used to be a thread on Twitter. Do you remember this? I should have feckin'...
A thread on Twitter.
I'm only after thinking of it now, so I should have... If I thought about this earlier, I would have gotten the actual thread. But it was a chap who had seen... What was the name of it? Damn it, I'll have to... When I get updated on this, I'll put it into the description of this just to get you to reference it.
Yeah.
But he was taking pictures... And but you see, it's so easily...
The pictures are so fucking easily doctored. You know the way they're like, there's the proof, there's the spaceship. Yeah. And I'm like...
Now, this chap, he just posted something weird one night and then it just kept happening. But it was nearly like he was entertaining it, so it was happening more.
Okay.
Kind of thing. I can't remember the name of it. It was a child at the end of his bed in a chair, basically.
Oh, brilliant. And yeah, that's it.
He was hearing... bangs and stuff outside, so he went out to take a picture of it, but the picture turned out to be completely black, and it was weird. It was really interesting to look at really freaked out after reading it, but then again, it can be doctored, and did he just want to go viral on Twitter? Who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Some people do.
Because he did end up going really fucking viral on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that with online. Apparently, though, the film Paranormal Activity was based off a true story.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before, but like, I mean, with Paranormal Activity, I remember the first one I was terrified. I think the second one I just laughed through.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and I remember just laughing through it, and I don't know why, but I was hysterically laughing, like I couldn't catch my breath the whole way through, and people were so angry with me, but I was laughing so much.
Oh, really?
But I think it was nervous laughter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was really on edge now because the first one really did.
The first one was fucked.
It scared the shit out of me.
So weird.
It was the scariest film I've ever seen, and I don't like horror movies, and I don't know why.
Do you watch horror films?
No,
they're too disturbing for me.
I don't like them. Yeah, they stick in my head too long. Mm-hmm. Do you know, like?
Yeah, they do. They stay with me.
Yeah, like I can't. I've seen a good few of them now, but they don't do it for me now, I have to say. But Paranormal Activity really fucking opened my eyes now, and it was a huge film for back in the day, because obviously horror films can be so cheesy as well.
Yeah, they can be so cheesy. House of Wax.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Oh yeah, they're so cheesy. But this back in 2010 was a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. That was like, whoa.
And the fact that it said it was based on a true story, and it gave you a synopsis of where your one was, like your one went missing and she still hasn't been found, and all this sort of, I was just like,
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. No, it was like the only thing that I can watch even that's close to it now is Haunted House. Did you see the comedy version of it?
No.
So fucking funny. It was written by the Wayans brothers. Oh, it's so funny.
I really want to see that.
It's gas.
Because sometimes they are creepier, aren't they? Like the parody versions, they are like almost amp it up, and you're a bit like, oh Jesus Christ.
No, well, this is completely comedy. They're taking the piss out of a lot of horror.
Haunted House.
Yeah, horror film. A haunted house, but they move into this, and it's this black couple, and then they get their cousins over, and like they're just so animated. It's just really funny. You have to watch it. It's fucking gas. Like me and Adam absolutely crack up watching it. It's one of these things.
Yeah, I don't like sinister, creepy vibes out of horrors. No. I don't mind watching a horror that's very literal.
How do you mean?
Like a literal horror, like someone's coming to stab you kind of vibe, but like anything a bit like freaky deaky, like thrillers. There's a ghost, there's a poltergeist, there's a this, that and the other. That's kind of where I draw, I suppose, the line. But what I will say is we've had an overwhelming amount of people come to us with your paranormal activity stories. Oh yeah, I purposely haven't. You have the Instagram. I personally purposely haven't looked at these because I wanted to. Do you want it to be here? Yeah, I'm going to sit here with my popcorn. Not like literally. Jen loves when I tell her a story. Oh, I love it. I know, it's her favourite thing. I love it. So we have Daniel here said, I believe ghosts are definitely real. My friend is always experiencing weird shit in her house. I didn't really believe it at first. She said she heard something coming up the stairs when she was home alone and loads of other stuff. And then when I was there one day, I turned and I thought her brother was running at me. It felt like somebody hit off me, but there was no one there. So yes, I do believe in paranormal stuff. Jesus. There's a lot of that. That kind of, it freaks me out when there's like violent stuff. That I was about to say. So apparently if you feel like there's like ghosts or spirits or stuff, try and like not make contact, but try and, you know, because the reason why they get violent is because they feel like they've made a connection but you're not getting it and they want a chat. Oh, so just entertain them basically. So entertain them basically, and we've got a couple of those stories as well. Oh, really? Yeah. So let me try and find, there was one in particular that absolutely like creeped me the fuck out. I'd actually love to, if I thought that there was a ghost trying to get through to me or a spirit trying to get through to me, I'd absolutely entertain it because I'd be fascinated. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I don't really know about that anyway. But, I might change my mind after I hit so, Kira here said, I was babysitting my uncle's rural, newly built house. As they left one night, they told me, don't mind the ghost, you just play tricks on people. Now, at that point, I would have exited the building with her, maybe. Question mark? Burnt it to the ground, maybe? Absolutely. Maybe. I was 15, slightly laughed it off, didn't put much past until all of the cupboard doors in the kitchen started to be opened. I thought that was one of the kids who should have been in bed again, but no pass, closed them and went into the sitting room. Then I heard the fridge open, walked in, the fridge and all the freezer doors were open. I closed them all and decided to sit in the hall trying to catch the kids. No sign of anyone after 45 minutes, went to make a cup of tea, all the cupboards open. Freaked to fuck, rang the uncle, he started to laugh and then came home. And then basically they said that the little boy, I forgot to screenshot the rest of that because there's loads of stuff, so I have to screenshot them. But they had to get rid of the child in the end because he started to get a bit more dangerous. He started to like put the oven on and turn the gas on in the hobs and stuff.
What?
Yeah, so they had to like literally get somebody to come in and be like, get out there now. I think they had to have like...
What'd you get?
Yeah. Here he goes. Basically, the house was on near unmarked famine graves, which resulted in the little guy appearing. Eventually, he started doing dangerous stuff like turning on the gas oven, etc. And because my uncle's kids were small, they had to have a ceremony to get rid of him. The little boy was happy to go, but the person who did the ceremony warned him it could anger the boy as it was there before them. And if the boy got angry, he could do a lot of harm. Luckily, he didn't, and all went well. But how would you... Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If all that shit was happening in your gaff, right? And then you did the ceremony... And somebody was like, here, listen, he could get really thick itches or he could go. And then everything stopped. How would you explain that?
Yeah. And now that you say it, because I'm only after asking you the question, how did they get rid of it? This is so funny because we were only talking about this the other day. I went to a concert with my sister. Yeah. And, we call her our other sister. She's our cousin. But her uncle, Collie, basically is he's not a medium. If you come across him and he sees something around you, he'll tell you about it.
Oh, there's some people that do that, don't they? They read auras.
Yeah, that's what it is, an aura reader. But her neighbour is a medium. Okay. So she actually does readings. Now, this house, they all moved from Finglas up to Cavan. So they're living in this, it's an estate, it's not Cavan, I think, is all rural, isn't it? Like, but it's an estate, it's not like a house out on its own or anything like that. But apparently the bathroom in my auntie and uncle's house is really... It was a prime spot for, like, very negative energy. There was something about me... So my mum's side of the family, there was 2 sets of twins. Now, I'm not sure... Oh, no, this was before Trish. So one of the sets of twins was Pat, who lives in Cavan, in this house. Mm-hmm. His twin brother is Tony. Yeah. Who took his own life. Okay. So they're twins. And basically there was something about him, my Uncle Tony, being in the bathroom. And somebody had his watch and there was something about the watch stopping or starting up again. Okay. It's something weird about that. I think Pat has the watch and it either stopped or started up again. But it wasn't just my uncle that passed away. It wasn't just him in it. There was a few people in the bathroom, but my cousin apparently has the gift as well that now he'd say to me auntie or uncle, oh, I'm after seeing them again, or like he wouldn't be being dramatic, but he's the quietest teenager you've ever seen, like, do you know what I mean? He wouldn't be trying to be dramatic or like, oh look what I saw, boo, ghosts, like anything like this. He'd be just like, yeah, I'm after seeing them again. That's kind of, and his mood would really decrease when they were around. So they basically had to get Jean, the wife of my uncle, her brother is this aura reader. He had to do something, and the next door neighbour had to do something to get rid of them all out of the bathroom because it was just becoming chaotic in there. Like the whole feeling of it was a really bad feeling, and he was like, I don't want to come up here anymore. His son Keith, he went up to the bathroom as well. He was like, I'm not, like, whatever happened, I don't know the full story of what happened in the bathroom, but Keith just basically said, I'm never going into that house again. No. Never going into that house again. Whatever was going on in that bathroom. And these aren't bullshitters. Like, these people are... Yeah. I know them. Do you know what I mean? They're not bullshitters. That's the thing. And, like, if I didn't really know them, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I have to see it to believe it. But I just know that these people are not bullshitters. And the fact that his twin brother was brought into it, it was like, yeah, he's there. And then something about the watch as well. It was so weird. Like,
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here's another absolutely terrifying one, and this is one that for some fucking reason I decided to whip open the phone as I'm about to go to bed and read this to myself.
Right.
So, hey, I had to come on to tell you this. It's the freakiest thing that's ever happened to me and scared the shit out of everybody that I've told. I'm a big sleep talker. I normally can't shut up, and occasionally I wake myself up talking. Anyway, a few years ago I decided it'd be hilarious to download a sleep recording app. Do we see where this is going?
Oh, okay. I've done this before.
Basically, it activates a recording function if it identifies noise. I used it for months, regularly hearing myself snore, chat and surprisingly fart a lot during the night. Anyway, I love that. Anyway, I used to listen to it on the way to work and basically crack myself up. As you've probably guessed, one morning on my way to work, oh my God, I fucking can't even deal.
Oh God.
I noticed that it had recorded lots of twisting and turning. It sometimes did, especially if I was very unsettled. Then out of nowhere, there was a man's voice recorded. I nearly crashed the fucking car. Played it back and thought that must have just been me. It definitely wasn't me. It wasn't clear what was said, but sounded like a short sentence. We are here.
Jesus.
Anyway, I played that thing for anyone that would listen to me.
Oh yeah.
And everyone agreed it definitely wasn't me. I lived on my own, so no chance it was somebody in the house. It was the scariest thing. Like, the fact that she said I lived on my own, so no chance it was someone in the house. Because I said this to Tom, and Tom was like, it was probably somebody else in the house. And I was like, she lived on her fucking own, dickhead.
Oh God. Yeah.
It was the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I stopped recording that night and deleted the recording around 3 months later from my phone because it was freaking me out so much.
Firstly, can I just comment on the sleep recording app?
Yeah.
Done it before. Fucking hilarious.
Is it?
Usually within the app, people will share the funny ones that they...
Oh, can you?
You can listen to other people's. Just a quick plug. Any of the sleeping apps
Is
can
it
do
gas?
it. It's gas. Because I'm a sleep talker as well. It's
are
fucking
you?
gas. I think well, not funniest, but the most random one that I woke up to and listened to before, because it doesn't record if there's no noise. Yeah. So you literally just get the good bits. But I just went, womp. Big womp.
Womp. Womp. Did right one.
Yeah, that was it.
What?
But like that, I did always, when I was always on the edge of me fucking the bed when I was listening to it, because I was freaked out that I would hear something.
Yeah, I get
that wasn't me.
Like, this is really like a bit too strange.
Yes.
So we have one which is more of a happy one, I would say. So my friend passed away in November of last year, and if I don't talk to her, one of her songs will come on, or a feather will land on me, or one time I felt a tap on my shoulder. When I first noticed it, I went a week without talking to her on purpose, and I got a tap on the shoulder, sitting eating a trio, nobody else in the house. If I go a day now, it's a song or a feather or a door that was closed will be open when I come back into the room. I hope to God I'm not imagining it. Gives me such comfort to know that she's still here. Right in this now, the hairs have stood up on the back of my neck. I'm such a windbag. I've never seen a horror film, but this gives me life. I miss her so much and I still can't believe she's gone, so I really hope that she's not and tell me she's here.
Oh, that is... it does bring so much comfort if that's what you believe. It's like... And I'd fully believe that that's her friend, like...
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
like I do believe that, because one of my friends, her nan was obsessed with robins.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking, I never fucking see a robin. When do you see a robin? Robins follow that girl everywhere. Like, every time we go somewhere, there's a fucking robin. I'm like, oh, there's Nancy. Like, I'm not joking. There's always robins.
Yeah.
Like, even yesterday, we were in her back garden, there was a robin there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, robins are really, like, they're fucking always around her. So I do actually believe that that's her granny.
Yeah. I remember last year my granddad passed away, and I know it was the time of year as well, but everywhere I looked, there was a brown butterfly.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't see, like, it was only kind of in the space of a week, and I was talking about this on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was either Instagram or Snapchat at the time, and it was Instagram, because it's actually still in me archive. Yeah. But it definitely was, like, I thought it was because it was brown. What was so significant about it? I must look back on it now.
Because they say robins are the bird of the dead, aren't they? Yeah.
There's a poem about it as well, isn't there? Yeah. I can't remember it now, but it is of big significance. But at the time, I remember looking up the brown butterfly, and it was saying basically the same thing, that if you're after, and it was in the space of a week, and I didn't see one after that. Didn't see one before that. It was literally the week of my granddad's death.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we went to Tom's dad or granddad's funeral, and when we were putting the because you know the way in the UK the funerals go on for around
12 days.
Yeah, literally they fucking, like, I mean, the cunts aren't buried and they're nearly back to life again. Like, I can't even deal with it. But we were at the graveyard, and I remember we were standing, and I'm not really I don't really notice things, but we were standing at the grave, and above there was a branch above like a tree above the grave where we were putting his body into, and there was 2 robins sitting there. And I said it to his nan, because his nan was like, she's not that religious, but I remember I said it to his nan, and she was like, oh my God, that's Claire, because she had a daughter. Tom's aunt actually passed away in similar circumstances to my aunt, so it's like, I remember being like, oh, it's real, like, weird how, like, Tom was only a baby at the time, but she was like, that's Claire and that's Kevin, like that's, or Kenneth, that's Claire and that's Ken. She was like, that's Claire and that's Ken, and she got like really excited about it.
Yeah.
But I remember just being like, oh, there's some two birds up there, really fucking random. Turned out they were robins. But I remember just being like, how random.
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't usually notice.
you know, you don't notice those things, and obviously people take comfort in that, so I'm totally down for whatever people take comfort in.
Same.
But, and like, sometimes not all presences, I wouldn't call them ghosts. I think ghost is like the word influencer. It's just been overused now at this point.
Yeah.
It's got negative connotations.
Yeah.
It's kind of like spirits or...
Spirits, yeah. What is the difference? Well, a ghost is there for... They're never, like, they're...
The ghost is there, isn't it? It's there. It's like nearly headless Nick.
Well, I think it's the...
Keep forgetting you haven't seen Harry Potter. It's the ghost in Harry Potter.
the meanings behind them, isn't it? A spirit around to take care of business or take care of a person, but a ghost is just like
there,
always there,
like how,
no real purpose, just haunting the
shit
place.
One, like,
yeah, just being a little haunter.
Shit one.
Yeah.
Speaking of little haunter, wait until you hear this.
Okay.
So Katrina has sent us one in saying, okay, honestly, I'm fully normal. Thanks for starting your sentence with that. But since I was 14, a spirit has followed me about. Used to hang out in my stairs, so I'd run into my room when I saw it. As I got older and nothing bad was happening, I kind of took it as a good omen. Moved into my second college house in Portobello and mistakenly took it for my housemate, said hello and screamed when I realised that it was her. Followed me to Boston on my J1 and hung out in my doorway, and every time I see her, she's growing. So under 10 when I'm 14, a woman when I'm 19, an aged woman at 21, a bald woman at 23. I used to find blonde hair on my housemate's pillow every time her room was locked. Legitimately no idea why he chose me to follow or why it's only every while for a few weeks. But I just deal. Otherwise... What does that say? I just deal, otherwise I would freak out. Never tried to make contact, but really seems to not wish me harm, so I'm just going to go with it.
I'd love that.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. I have one here from a girl called Jenna. She said, here, I literally had to send this in to you. Got dragged to see medium a couple of years ago, and my gran, who died yonks ago, apparently told her the names of two lads I was sleeping with.
Oh.
And she got them fucking right as well. I wanted to die on the spot. If it's true, in brackets, which, like, the names and all, then we pour now. Got the names right of the two men that she had on the track.
Screaming. Speaking of that, we had somebody write in saying that a couple of their friends have claimed to have had sex with ghosts.
Yeah,
I've only ever heard of this in America, so I'm truly excited.
Yeah, was this in Paranormal Activity?
Was it in Paranormal Activity?
Okay, maybe it was in the parody Take the
I
Piss
think it
Out
might have
one,
been
yeah.
I think it was in what's that? You know, the Scream rip-offs. What was that called? Scary Movie.
Yeah.
I think it was in Scary Movie
then
before.
It was in a haunted house as well. No, I'm pretty sure in Paranormal Activity, didn't it? Like it was moving the sheets up down near her legs and stuff like that.
No, I think that's a parody, Jen.
Okay, right, maybe. Okay.
No, in Paranormal Activity, it did not want to ride.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
He just wants to fucking kill her.
So there you go. This girl, she wants to remain anonymous. I don't really blame you, to be honest. A friend of mine was kind of like half sleeping and she felt kind of like something good in between her legs, thinking she was having a sex dream, so sort of went with it, and then she realised she wasn't dreaming and basically either having a lucid wet dream or having sex with a ghost. Also, one of my male friends says he was sleeping on his back and felt a ghost have anal sex with him.
Jesus.
Like, I can't even get a ride on a normal fucking day. Do you know what I mean? And you're getting rode by a ghost. What's that about?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
You don't believe that?
No.
We believe all the other stuff.
Yeah,
why wouldn't? Come on, like, if you were a ghost, why not?
That's very true.
Why not?
Did she consent, though? That's the question.
I mean, true.
I have one here from a girl called Bina. I'm going to cut it short, Bina, because you and I both know that this is a long
This is too long.
But basically, so in a nutshell,
I'm going to wrap this up.
Her dad was a sergeant in he was a private in the barracks in Cork.
Okay.
So he, obviously our army isn't that busy. You know, we have no wars or anything going on.
No, we don't partake in those.
He was working nights, basically sleeping. So he said he'll get up and he'll be a bit productive or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was doing rounds, like, of the grounds or whatever. Yeah. Next of all, he heard a gunshot. Oh. And it was this young private. And basically, he went running down to where the noise of the gunshot is. Like, this girl was even saying, she was like, why the fuck do we have guns? Like, nobody's attacking us. Do you know what I mean? Come on, let's.
Yeah,
But basically, he went down to where your man was, and he was standing there absolutely shocked. This very, very young lad with this gun, and he was like, what the fuck? And your man was like, what? Like, this girl's dad, she was like, what did you shoot at? Like, you know, he had to kind of make himself known. Like, I'm the sergeant, don't shoot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming up to you, like, what the fuck's going on? And he said, I saw this nurse with a weird hat down the entrance of this alleyway that he was in, like, that he was supervising all the guns, and she started walking towards me.
Oh no.
And he shouted at her to stop approaching, and she wouldn't stop. And the more she got closer, half of her face was basically blown off. So he shot at her, and like, she disappeared. But so he had to send him off, like, to get a cup of tea. Now, I don't know, like, your
I had to send him off. I was like,
Yeah,
to
she
the
was like-
institution
yeah.
to get a cup of tea.
No, she was saying, because, you know, tea sorts all Irish problems. But
Tea does.
yeah, so this was, and like, her dad told her that, and her dad, like, he wouldn't lie about stuff like that, you know.
Actually mad. And have another one here. Catherine says, 2 years ago, me and my family moved into our new house. It had been done up as another older couple lived here for years. I was asleep one night and heard a loud scream into my ear. I woke up and it honestly felt like my ear was ringing, hurting, as if somebody had screamed in it. We've thought we heard someone in the kitchen during the night, but it was always put down to our imagination.
Well,
That would be creepy.
yeah.
Somebody else said, I've never had any issues with paranormal activity, but I have had issues with paranormal whacktivity where you smoke too much where you smoke too much and start hallucinating and seeing things.
Yeah.
I was like, guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one here about a baby. You know the way that they say that
I don't like baby ones.
No, not a baby ghost, but a real baby laughing.
Oh, they say kids can
Yeah.
see. Yeah. They
Laughing
say
at
kids are
nothing.
like, just do like pure bits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that the kids can see ghosts, and that the ghosts will be trying to entertain the kids and the babies and all that, and that they just basically laugh at everything. And like,
But
babies,
if you're a baby and there's this random thing in front of you, you're literally like, cool. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
fine.
you put, but like you would notice with a baby, you wouldn't necessarily see them just going into fucking fits of laughter at a wall.
No.
Something needs to be entertaining them for them to
True.
go into that little chuckle. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that nothing, like, I've heard so many stories out of
Ghost babysitters.
ghost baby. What?
Let's start a company. Preferably before you have a kid. Ghost babysitters. We can interview ghosts and see which ones are up for it and which ones are actually just there to maybe blow up your gaff.
Yeah.
Ghost babysitters.
Ghost babysitters. We need to
TM.
do though, because there is a course that you can take.
Oh.
There's a course that, well, I only just looked up one, because this a girl, Sandy, I actually know her. She responded to my question.
I actually know her. I just said that. I did meet someone on holidays. Okay.
No, well,
I totally believe you. I actually know her.
She responded to my questions box basically saying she did a course in mediumship, which completely just reminded me that you can do that. And she was like, I did a course in mediumship like years ago, and it helped a spirit crossover. But
Oh, no.
But do you not find it weird that you can do a course in mediumship? For 250 quid, you can get the gift.
But maybe I have the gift.
You just need to know how to.
I just need to, like, yeah.
Yeah, I find it a bit weird. I don't have €250 that I'm willing to spend to see. But I'd be so curious to actually take a course and see what it's all about.
Would you pay for me to do the course?
Maybe when we get a sponsor.
Who wants to pay for me to do the course to really prove that I'm a fucking psychic?
Maybe when we start making money off the pod, we can use it to go and do a bit of research and get back to you.
Maybe I'll do a course.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a fucking money maker.
This is...
In all fairness, though, I do get the feelings. I don't care what anybody says. I get them. I don't know what it is, right?
No, I'd be so curious because, I mean, like, if Derek or Cora can do it.
What is the crack with that? Because you said this earlier and I was like, who is this human?
Derek and Cora.
Is that the one that used to be on the Living channel, Living TV?
Yeah.
Was that Living TV? Yeah. And it was like, they were always green.
Yeah.
And it looked like Paris Hilton's porno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
And it
two
was like,
little...
are you here?
Yeah, the little... Mary, if you're here, let us know.
And it would be like...
Yeah.
And it'd be like, open the can of Diet Coke if you're here. And it'd be like, go. It'd be like...
Now, See,
Tap on the window.
The thing is, he is a proven scammer. But
Is he?
Yeah, but it was for the purposes of the show. So obviously they're trying to make it an entertaining ghost hunting show. So like that was an outright scam, and he's been like proven wrong so many times. But that was for the purposes of like, you know, entertainment. Also, another one who you do see, and you'd nearly be fucking convinced, Tyler Henry.
Yeah, sorry. That's what I meant to bring up with you. Tyler fucking Henry, right?
Because there's a warning at the start of his show saying that this is purely for entertainment purposes. Like, it's basically discrediting him at the start of the
I thought it was
show.
like some of these things have been edited for entertainment purposes.
No. I'm pretty sure I watched it, like...
He makes like millions off this.
I know.
Like millions being a medium.
And you can see, like, how shocked the people are when they're like, there's absolutely no way he could have known that.
Yeah, because I saw the one with Kristen Cavallari, you know, the way her brother died really dodgily.
No.
Oh my God, it was really sad. So her brother died and she was like, I'm sorry, he did not commit suicide. I'm sorry, it just didn't happen. And they couldn't find him. It was around Christmas and they couldn't find him for fucking ages. But basically they eventually figured out what had happened was he ran out of gas, he hopped out to try and find help, and he died of exposure. Really sad. And he lost his way back to his car. And it was like during the winter. So he ended up dying of exposure, like. But everybody was like, oh, it could have been suicide, could have been this. Like, they're not really sure, like, all this other stuff. Because I can't remember. I don't know if they found, like, drink or something in his system or pills or some kind of tablets. But I think he had some mental health issues prior to this. So people were like, oh, it was suicide. And she was like, I know my brother. He did not mean to die.
Yeah.
And it came out really bad. But he, like, basically was saying that he was, like, confirming what had happened to her.
It was the same with Macklemore as well.
Oh, I didn't see the Macklemore one.
His friend basically, and Macklemore was such a skeptic going in. He was like, what the fuck? And then even some of the stuff... But
then if you're such a skeptic, why the fuck are you going on a show called Hollywood Medium?
He was probably asked to. But he basically...
Plenty of other shows you can go on. Derek Agora.
But basically, so I think it was his wife and his brother were, you know the way that you can have family members watching from the back room?
Yeah,
on the screen.
yeah.
So Tyler Henry was saying loads of stuff to Macklemore, and it wasn't making sense to Macklemore, but the two behind looking at the screen were like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, yes, that's this and that's that, and they could piece it together so easily, but he was just being
He was just like, no, yeah. negative, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, like, he had a face on him like thunder. But his best friend had died, and they thought that he, like, intentionally overdosed. But Tyler Henry basically confirmed to him, no, he didn't mean to. He had gone on, it was like a bit of a detox. So then he went back in with the amount of drugs that he used to take, but his body couldn't handle it because he had detoxed. So it was then too much for him. But he was basically saying, no, he didn't mean to. But it was accidental, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it was his own fault, but he didn't mean to. And the peace that it gave him, do you know what I mean? But then I was like, because I had seen this warning at the start of the show, I was like, is that not a bit fucking dangerous saying that to somebody I'm sure to cover their own arses they have to put the warning up. I must look up the actual wording of the warning. It just kind of discredits them from the start, I think.
Really? Because I watched a couple of
the new season especially.
I haven't seen the new season.
Oh yes, so maybe it's just because it's a new warning.
Maybe it's because it's a new warning, or maybe it's because of the new season kind of thing. But I haven't seen any.
Yeah, no, I just remember looking at it and just kind of gone, this just basically takes the meaning away from the whole fucking show.
Yeah, because that would take the meaning. But I thought the whole idea was that he's been known. That's how he got famous. He got famous because he was a medium. Yeah. They didn't just pick up this kid and was like, right, you're going to be a medium now.
Yeah, no, he...
Well, his mum goes with him to everything, doesn't she? Yeah, she goes like, it doesn't matter where the fuck they're going. They go everywhere. Yeah. And he doesn't know who he's doing until he arrives. Yeah. That's another, like, big...
Yeah, and it will be some...
It's always a celeb.
Oh, yeah. No, it will be... But, like, some of them he doesn't even know. Like, he did Lizzo recently in his new season, and he hadn't got a fucking clue who Lizzo was, like.
Oh, Scream. I saw one before. I think it was that girl from Orange is the New Black. She also plays... Oh, who else does she play? She used to be in a load of, like, teen films, like, when we were teens. I can't remember her fucking name. Oh, it's gonna wreck my head. She's got a really kind of weird, deep voice. You'd definitely know her to see.
Okay.
But I remember he was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, oh no."
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
But that's nearly good for them as well, because he wouldn't have Googled them.
Yeah, see, that's what I think. But in another way, I'm kind of like, okay.
Is this all public knowledge?
Yeah, is this all like...
Yeah, but then, like I said, there's a lot of them that say there's no way he could have known that.
Yeah, like he did loads on the Kardashians, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did them and like their dad around the OJ trial and all that other kind of stuff, and I thought that was really interesting, but otherwise I was kind of like,
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, and then obviously you have the other side of it where, like... I love Darren Brown, but he kind of ruins everything for me.
That's exactly it, like, and it's so weird because I do feel like we can exist in a world where you can kind of believe both.
Yeah, he does. He kind of like it's weird because I believe him when it comes to, you see, with the God channel and the pastors healing everybody for money and stuff like that. I completely believe that he's completely discredited them.
Yeah,
and. Yeah, he's discredited mediums, but because of my own experience, I refuse to believe it. I just feel like he got mediums that were scammers for that.
Well, he also did that. He did this. The thing is, he hosted a seance, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he had everybody in the room, and he was like, "I'm feeling this. I'm getting this. I'm getting this. I'm getting whatever. I'm feeling this." You had a loved one, and did that whole thing. And I remember at it, he was like, it was really emotional. I felt really bad doing it, but at the same time, it's kind of my job to discredit these things.
Yeah.
But I was still kind of like, nah, mate, you weren't there with Bill.
yeah. That's the thing, and I do find myself being, I do think that I'm being hypocritical by saying, oh, I believe him on that, but I don't believe him on this. But it's because I've experienced one and not the other.
But I do feel like we can live in a place where you believe in both.
Yeah, he's completely discredited the law of attraction, by the way, as well. He wrote a whole book on it, and The Secret and Darren Brown's discrediting the law of attraction were beside each other at Easton's on Christmas. Because I was like, which
one will I get?
I lost me Secret book, and I was like, it was the second one. There was a second book, wasn't there? After The Secret.
There's Happy, which Tom reads and loves, and it's like about like how to... It's actually, apparently it's an excellent book if you suffer with any kind of anxiety or mental illness.
Right.
And it's something that Tom likes to quote to me 24/7, because in Tom's world, Ricky Gervais and Darren Brown are just top trumps, and everyone that I like is shit.
You see, I'm the same, but I like the people that you like, but I also love Darren Brown.
Yeah,
and I love
Darren Brown. I love the stuff that he does. I find no matter what Darren Brown does, it's fucking interesting, isn't it? Like, it's always fucking interesting. Ricky Gervais, I can't warm to.
I
never loved. Understand some of the stuff that he says, but I just never really loved it, and I don't really like anybody who takes a hard line on telling other people they're stupid.
Yeah,
I'm not a real big fan of that.
No,
you know, you can like what you like and you can dislike what you dislike, but I don't really love.
Well, you see, this is the thing. This is one of his big ethoses as well, is that he's all about freedom of speech, but he'll have a fucking debate with you. That's his thing.
Yeah,
because he's
and I totally get that, but I do feel like, just from, living with a person who's like that, it's like it can get very kind of like, it's fucking stupid that you think that. Yeah. It's fucking thick that you think that.
Yeah, no, but it was I lost my copy of The Secret, and I went into Easton's.
Did you read The Secret?
I couldn't. Do you know, I prefer the film. The documentary film.
See, I heard somebody said if you pop it onto Netflix, one of my mates was recommending this for me as well, just like law of attraction and all that other kind of stuff. But I do feel like if you think positive, you're going to act positive, and I think that's kind of just that's just a normal thing.
You see, the thing about I just thought the book was very, very samey, and it was losing me attention, and I haven't got a great attention span in the first place.
Okay.
But the documentary where you actually see, it's the quotes that are quoted in the book, but it's the actual doctors speaking to the camera. And it's only like an hour long. But if you ever want motivation, positivity, a kick up the hole,
I would like that.
You need to fucking watch it.
Because everyone says that to me. Everyone's like, go onto Netflix, watch it, you're going to fucking totally change your attitude. Yeah. You can get out of that funk. And I'm like, okay, maybe I should.
It is. It's fucking deadly, and it's only an hour. Like, it's, you know what I mean? You can get a quick injection of it. It's fucking great.
Like,
Yeah. I have it. I bought it on iTunes. So I always have it on my phone if I ever...
Oh, if you're ever feeling shit.
Watched it loads of times. Like, oh, it's fucking deadly. It really gives you a boost now. I have to say.
Really?
Yeah. But then Darren Brown has a book out and I'm afraid to read that because I'm like, I'm going to end up fucking
Don't worry,
believing
Tom will
him.
read it and quote it at you every day for the rest of your life. So there's no fucking issues there. No fucking issues at all. All you have to do is just get that. Although I do appreciate it because like when I'm feeling really shit, he's like, just remember blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that your advice or Darren Brown's?
Yeah.
It's like a bit of both.
Yeah.
Like adapting.
I'd like to look more into this. I think we should, after what we're doing tonight, which we will talk about on the Instagram when after it happens, we'll give it no plug. But I think we should pull up to your one's house and see what happens.
Definitely.
Go to the ATM. Because it's bright until 10 o'clock now.
Oh.
So we've like loads of time.
True.
Oh my God, imagine. And then we can... Would she let us record, I wonder?
Doubtful.
We'd have to go in kind of alone.
Maybe we should plan this.
No, I think we should just show up.
Just rock up and be like, hey.
Yeah.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
I do. I think we should do it.
Should we?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine, Jen. Fuck it.
Amazing.
Okay, fine. Fuck it, Jen. We'll
and
do
we
it
can just
then.
do an Instagram live then.
Oh yeah, that would be good. We could do an Instagram live for straight afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Stunning. We'll do that then.
We could do so whoever goes in first, the other person can be out in the car doing an Instagram live, like
this is
talking
a good
about what's
idea.
going on.
But what if I go and she stabs me and I'm dead?
She won't.
What would I like?
won't
What would
do
you do? I'd be dead then. I'd haunt you.
I'd fucking drive. Carla, what the fuck do you think? I'd drive away. I'm not going to fucking stay around a bleeding lunatic that's stabbing people.
Well, if she stabbed me, that would be really unfortunate.
Yeah, well then
if you didn't try and
it's
defend
done.
me.
It's done. What am I going to fucking do to help you? I'm
You
driving
could try and
away.
resuscitate me.
No, because then what? She's going to fucking stab me when I've my back turned.
Good. Then at least we'll be in it together. Then there'll be no podcast.
I'll just do it myself.
Then that's just it. You just... Yeah.
I'll find a ghost to do it.
Yeah, if I do, it'd be like me and my mate Carla here, ghost vibes, and yeah, it's really good times.
All of the ghosty things. I think that's enough for this week. Carla, what are we talking about next week?
Next week we are going to be talking about buzz positivity.
Let's start that again, why don't we, Carla?
It's going to be body positivity, Jen. Bit of self-love. Why am I talking about like that guy from Cops, isn't it? Or not Cops, Bad Boys. It's like, what Constable Brian doesn't know is that the perpetrator is after hopping over the wall.
Is this the narrator?
Yeah.
In Slough.
Yeah. We're in Slough today. Yeah. Detective Hatton and Detective Farrell are actually going around the gaff. What they don't know is that the perpetrator is after already hopping the wall. Don't worry, Perp. The dogs are on it.
I fucking love it. So next week is about body positivity, self-love, fat shaming,
Body image,
all this kind of stuff.
all that kind of good.
Fat shaming, skinny shaming, all of the shaming.
Fat scheming,
All
all
the
that
things.
kind of crack, all that buzz.
So please do get in touch with your thoughts on those subjects. You can get us on Insta at The Unpopular Opinion 2019 or on the WhatsApp 085 725 2127. I'll talk to you then.
Bye.